I'm so thankful to be here and to be moving with you. We're going to start at the wall for just a moment, so hopefully you have a wall nearby. And then towards the end of class, we'll use a chair, so grab a chair for yourself. But let's start with a few chest stretches. So we'll put our hand on the wall, starting about the height of our head. Spread your thumb out away from your other fingers. And then from there, with your feet straight, ankles hip distance apart, hips back over the heels, turn your chest away from the wall any amount. Take a few breaths here. You might feel this in your hand, your lower arm, your upper arm, or your chest. All right, unwind, bring your hand a little bit lower. That may require that you walk away from the wall a little bit. You're still like about shoulder height, maybe a little bit higher, and turn your chest away from the wall any amount there. It should feel really good to move together today. If anything doesn't feel good, hold it for less time, take lots of breaks, unwind, bring your hand a tiny little bit lower than your shoulder, and turn your chest. Check on your ribs, relaxing down and back. Ramp your head back gently. And become present with your breath. Relax, clenching in your legs. All right, and then one lower, a little bit lower. Pressing the palm gently into the wall. All right, let's turn around and do the other side. So starting with your hand about the height of your head, feet straight, ankles hip distance apart. And you might have to walk away from the wall to bring your hand just about shoulder height, maybe a little bit above. Notice any tension in your opposite arm, let it relax. And then bring your hand a tiny bit lower than your shoulder. Check on hips over heels, ribs relaxed down and back, lower belly relaxed. And then how about your hand a little bit lower? Spread out through the thumb, press the palm gently into the wall. All right, let's go back to the first side, but this time just stand close to the wall, and now it's your outside arm that's going to go up and over, maybe touching the wall, maybe wiggling your fingers up the wall a little bit. Notice if your inner shoulder just really hikes up, can you soften and relax that area just a little bit? If not, it might be helpful to bring your hand a little bit forward. And let's do the other side. Turn around, stand close to the wall, go up and over. Maybe wiggle your fingers a little bit higher. Depending on what time you do this, this might be the first time today that you've gotten your arms out into the air or overhead. And always keep in mind that the body likes slow adaptations, so ease into it. Okay, now that we've gotten through that, let's come on down to our backs. You're welcome to have something under your head, maybe even a blanket under your shoulder blades if your ribs still tend to push forward a bit. And then once you're on your back, continue to tune into your breath, and let's just do one leg at a time. So one knee comes in, pelvis untilting that way or untucking that way as your thigh bone comes in towards you. Check on your ribs, because as you tilt your pelvis that way, there's the tendency for the ribs to press up. So soften the front ribs down into your flesh and go side to side. And you can use your hands every time, but you don't have to. I tend to push my ribs forward, so I'll keep my hands on my ribs today just to check on them. As you bring your knee in, notice if your knee always wants to go out or always wants to go in. Notice if your lower leg always wants to go out or go in. I think just doing this for 10 minutes would be amazing. Okay, how about both knees? Feet flat, legs curl in, pelvis going that way as thigh bones come in towards you, and tap. So you're maintaining that little lift behind your waist, but your ribs are softening down and back. All right, grab your strap, wrap it around the ball of your right foot right below your toes. Extend your left leg long, tilting your pubic bone and tailbone down so the back of the left thigh comes a lot closer or is heavy on the mat. Pull back on the ball of the foot. Notice if your ankle twists one way or the other. And then playing with how high you can bring the leg without bending the knee, without tucking the pelvis under. And then one other thing to be conscious of, without hiking your hip up by your waist. So keep that length along the side of your body. And really, it's not about how high you can get the leg. It's just like sometimes this feels great. Sometimes this feels great. This is important, especially if your knee just won't straighten all the way, to work lower. You can even put your foot on the seat of a chair. And then, of course, sometimes as things start to relax, you can work on the range of motion. But while I'm here, I can feel that my ribs are thrusting slightly forward. So it all impacts, every little movement impacts every other movement, and my ribs thrusting forward impacts the way that this movement is affecting my hip. Okay, let's take that leg out to your right. You can rest your elbow down on the floor if that's nice for you. Watch ankle twisting. Doesn't matter how far out you go. Try to relax. If your left side of your body is rolling up off the mat, then you are twisting at your spine. So bring the left side of your body back down and only open the leg so much that it's the hip opening the leg out to the side. And then pull that thigh bone up, and keeping the right side of your body down, just take the leg across your body to the left. Watch the twist of the ankle. Watch the tilt of the pelvis, the tilt of the ribs. You could play with subtle things like the rotation of the thigh bone. It just feels as I go across, the more that I externally rotate from the top of my thigh bone, means turning my foot and my toes that way, the more I get into areas that I can feel, oh, I probably need to spend more time here. But it could be the same for someone else with internal rotation. All right, bring your leg up, and before we go to the other side, we are going to have both of our legs in the air, and we're going to stay there for a while. So if this keeps happening to you, want to keep bringing your legs in closer, one thing you can do is stack your hips up on a block and just that'll allow your legs to tilt towards you a little bit more. Keep trying to straighten up, but as we're here and you need a break, you just bend, relax, maybe put your feet down and come back up at any time. You'll have lots of opportunities. So stretch your legs up into the air, flex your ankles, reach the palm of your right hand up, pull your right pinky finger gently back, rotate your thigh bones all the way one way, all the way the other way. Try to straighten the legs and come back to center. Ring finger, rotate, rotate, back to center. Middle finger, rotate, rotate, back to center. Pointer finger, keep breathing, keep bringing the legs towards you. Rotate, rotate, back to center. Thumb out to the side and down, letting the breath flow. Rotate, and rotate the thigh bones. Come back to center. Let's hop over to the left hand. Pinky finger pulls down and back. Rotate, rotate, back to center. Ring finger pulls down and back. Rotate, rotate, back to center. Middle finger pulls down and back. Relax your neck muscles. Rotate, rotate, back to center. Pointer finger pulls down and back. Keep breathing. Rotate and rotate, back to center. Thumb out to the side and down. Rotate and rotate, back to center. Relax, lower your legs. Okay, let's do the second side. Wrap the strap around the ball of your left foot. Extend your right leg long. Tilt your pelvis so your pubic bone comes down. Notice if that tilts, pulls on your waist and pulls your ribs forward, or pulls on your psoas and pulls your ribs forward. Ribs relax down, just the curve behind the back. And then you can play at any height. Remember, the body likes slow adaptation, so maybe start lower and then play with different heights. Check on your bottom leg. Are you clenching your bottom leg? And just see how I'm kind of wiggling things around. Like I'm just exploring my body. But gently and kindly, not jerking, not being aggressive. All right, let's take that left leg out to the left. Right side of the body stays relaxed down. And so I just happen to have this wall right next to me, which is kind of amazing. I mean, sometimes it's nice to use your hands and the grip strength, but this is wonderful. If you have a wall space, just to do this and stretch your leg out to the side and rest it on the wall. And of course, you could be farther away from the wall, closer to the wall. You could get all different angles of your adductor muscles. Amazing, amazing, amazing. I might do like a shorter everything at the wall class. Okay, pull back on the ball of that foot. Come back up, take it across your body. Keep the left side of the body down. Watch the twist of the ankle, the twist of the thigh bone. The bend of the knee, the tilts of the pelvis, the tilts of the ribs. And most importantly, your breath. All right, let's pull that leg up and let's go back to our legs in the air. So block or no block under your hips. Stretch your legs up in the air, and from here, we are going to take a few breaths. Let's interlace our right pinky finger on the bottom, press up, spread your thumbs away from each other and back towards you. And let's point our ankles, flex our ankles, twist our outer ankles up, twist our inner ankles up. See if you can twist your ankles side to side without your thigh bones rotating. Switch the crossing of the fingers, press away, spread your thumbs out, point, flex, ankle twist one way, ankle twist the other way. Now flex your ankle, release your hands, rotate your thigh bones so your knees and toes turn out. How about point and flex there? Keep stretching long. How about internally rotate your thigh bones and point and flex there? How about bring your legs back to straight and spread all your toes open? Sometimes it helps to spread the fingers. How about lift your big toes up and pull your little toes down? How about little toes up, big toes down? Always rest when you need to. Okay, let's externally rotate. Spread all your toes. Keep them spreading, internally rotate, keep spreading your toes. Come back to center, lower your feet down, and roll over to one side or rock yourself up and come onto your hands and your knees. Spread your thumbs out towards each other. Wrap your elbow pits forward, the soft front part of your elbow. Just be careful every once in a while. I mentioned this. This was my habit at first. People wrap their elbow pits forward, but for people that tend to hyperextend, that makes easy access to hyperextension, but then you use less of the muscle around your shoulder girdle. So if your elbows tend to push in front of your wrists, you have to back them up a little. Your arms will still be straight. But what that means is maybe you might have to do less and come back and rest and come back and rest until you build the strength where you're not thrusting your elbow pits forward. Let's do some rhomboid push-ups here. Belly relaxed, tailbone in the air. Spine relaxes down between your two straight arms. Lift up, feel the breastbone, feel the armpits. How about doing some rhomboid push-ups with a full head hang? And really notice if that head wants to lift up. Try to keep letting it hang. Are your feet gently active? Are your thumbs spreading out? Are you using the palms of your hands equally? How about checking in on your elbow pits? How about next time you're at the top of the rhomboid push-up, hold there, look straight down at the mat. Keep lifting through your armpits and your breastbone and do a couple head ramps where your face goes towards the mat and then the back of your head goes towards the ceiling. Face goes towards the mat, back of the head towards the ceiling. How about two more like that? Wrapping the elbow pits. Face goes forward, back of the head towards the ceiling, and one more. Face goes forward, back of the head towards the ceiling. Tuck your toes under as much as you can. You could always stack your knees higher. You can sit back all the way, or you can stand up on your knees. You could, if you're home and you have enough things to stack, you can sit back part of the way so you get a little bit more weight back on your feet. And then from here, let's circle our arms up and down. Try to feel if your ankles are rolling to one side or the other. I tried to do it with mine, but I was thinking you might be able to see, but you can't. Breathing here, reach out through your upper back and chest muscles as you go up and down. All right, next time you're in the air, flip your wrists one way, flip your wrists the other way, straighten out your wrist, open your arms into a wide V. Flip your wrists one way, flip your wrists the other way, and straighten out a little bit lower. Check on those toes, the balls of the feet, wrists flip one way, wrists flip the other way, straighten them out, and arms a little lower, wrists flip one way, wrists flip the other way, and straighten them out. And then you can come off of your toes there, come back onto all fours, spread your thumbs out, elbow pits wrap forward. So we're consistently going to work on the top of the rhomboid push-up when we're on all fours and the head ramp today. So from there, ribs up, back of the head up, push down through your left foot. You can tuck your toes under or top of the foot. If that hip tends to veer out, hug it in as you extend your right leg back. And we'll start with a flexed ankle, curl in, but we're doing this with a flat back instead of a rounded back. So we're going to do a flat back, extend, flexed ankle, point your toes, curl in, extend, flex your ankle, flex your ankle, curl in. See how my ankle wanted to go into extension or pointing, and extend, point, curl in, and extend, flex, curl in, and extend, lower that knee down. I'm going to crawl myself forward so I'm not kicking the chair. Thumbs spread out, elbow pits wrap forward. Press equally through the palms of the hands. Lift up through the breastbone and forearms, or the breastbone and the armpits. Ground through the right foot. Hug the right hip in. Extend the left leg. Point. Curl in. Extend. And do the opposite that you were doing. Curl in and extend. Ankle, curl in, extend. Opposite with the ankle, curl in, extend. Switch your ankle, curl in, extend. One more each. Curl in, extend. One more. Curl in, extend. Lower that knee down. Come up onto your knees. Step your right foot out to the right. Maybe toes forward, or you can rotate and point your toes up into the air. Left ankle right behind the left knee. And then let's take the right arm up, or excuse me, the left arm up and over to the right. And back down. Let's do that 3 more times. Up and over, and back down, and up and over, and back down, and one more time. Up and over, and pause and hold, and pull yourself back up. Okay, arms out to the sides. From here, low, flip your wrists down. Nice and slowly go up. Flip your wrist in the other direction. Slowly go down. Good. Keep your fingers flipping up as you go up. Fingers flip down as you go down. Keep your wrists down as you go up. Flip your wrist and go back down. And then from there, go ahead and slide that knee in. Let's go right to the other side. Extend your left leg long. You can stay on the inner edge of your foot or roll to the heel of your foot. And then we'll take our right arm up and over and back down, up and over and down. 2 more like that. Up and over and down, and up and over, and down. Okay, from here, reach your arms out to the side. We're gonna do palms face down. Reach your right hand all the way across as far as it will go, and open it out. Palm face down, left arm across, and open. Palms face forward. Right arm across, and open out. Left arm across, and open out. Palms face up. Right arm across, and open, and left arm across, and open. Rotate your thumbs backwards a little bit more as you reach out, and then release your arms and slide that knee in. And from here, we're going to come onto our knees with our right foot forward for a lunge. Walk your right ankle a little bit in front of your right knee. You can put a block or 2 blocks down in front of you if you want to bring your hands down to blocks instead of the floor. But from here, pubic bone forward, reach your arms up into the air. Sweep your arms back. And then as your arms come by your side, come forward with your hips, 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 hips. And then put your hands down for a moment as your hips sink forward. And then push down through your back foot, push through your front ankle. Arms rise up, pubic bone gently presses forward. Swing your arms straight back. And then hips, 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 hips go forward until your hands come down. Breathing here. And then push through the tops of the foot, push through your front foot to back up. Slide your right knee back to meet your left knee. We're going to come back to these in just a moment. Thumbs spread out, elbow pits wrap forward. Watch that locking out. Top of the rhomboid push-up. Ground through the feet. Stretch your right leg back. Stretch your left arm forward. Ribs up, head ramping. Bottom arm rotating from the shoulder, neutral elbow pit. Breathing. And lower down, lower the knee down. Elbow pits wrap forward, top of the rhomboid push-up, ground through the feet. Reach that left leg back. Keep wrapping the left elbow pit, lifting through the breastbone and the ribs, ramping the head as you extend forward. Breathing here. And lower the hand, lower the knee. Step your left foot forward a little bit in front of your ankle. You can definitely bring your hands to the mat, pubic bone forward, arms rise up. Sweep them straight back behind you. Pelvis forward, 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 forward until hands come down. How about even paying attention to your elbow pits wrapping forward here? Ground through your feet to rise up, pubic bone leading the way. Just swing the arms back first. And then slowly come forward, forward, forward with the pelvis, hands down. Breathing here, head ramps. And then push down through your feet, front ankle under your front knee, tuck your toes under, push down to step up. Okay, so now we're going to start with a top of the foot stretch. Feet straight, ankles hip distance apart. Push down through your outer right hip, tuck the top of that foot behind you. Let's roll a little bit from big toe to pinky toe side of the foot. Just last week, I did this with a cushion or pillow under my foot. It felt wonderful. Feel free to do that more often. Okay, you're gonna stay centered. Drop your chin down to your chest. Check, your foot is straight, ankle over your hip, not forward, not out to the side, or hip over your ankle. And roll your chin a little bit side to side here. Ribs relax down and back, elbow pits forward. Bring your chin to center. Roll to the outer edge of your foot a little bit, and then roll your chin over there in that direction with your head hanging down. Then bring your chin back to center. Roll to the inside of your foot towards your big toe, unless it's painful, and then roll over your chin to that same angle over to the right. Try to use alignment rather than clenching your muscles to sustain yourself in the position. And bring your chin back to center and bring your foot back, and then push down through your opposite hip. Tuck your right toes behind you if you're doing the same side as me. And first, just go side to side. Your thigh bone is turning without your hips turning side to side. Breathing. This foot is definitely tighter than my other foot, so just being aware. Okay, find the center. Drop your chin down to the center of your chest. While you're looking down, check, is my standing leg straight? Is my hip going outside my ankle? Yes, mine is. I'm gonna pull my hip in. I can rotate my thigh bone into neutral a little bit, especially if you have the ability to kind of lock your knees out and push your knee behind your ankle. The neutral rotation of your thigh bone will prevent that from happening. Of course, you want to be able to also lift your kneecap up and down. And you're rolling your chin a little bit side to side here. All right, bring your chin to center. Roll to the outer edge of your foot towards the pinky toe. Roll your chin over in that direction too. Roll to the big toe side of your foot. Roll your chin over in that direction. Elbow pits forward. Bring your chin back to center. Bring your foot back and grab whatever you're going to use for a calf stretch. I haven't used a rolled up towel in these classes for a while. I use different things all the time around my home and when I'm outside. But mix it up, mix it up, mix it up. Put your right foot up, heel down. Maybe step your left foot forward. Reach your arms out to the side. Do right arm on top. Wrap them all the way around. Thigh bones back, hips over heels, ribs relax down and back. Just lift your elbows as high as you can without lifting your ribs and lower them down slowly. Head ramps back a little. Elbows lift up and lower down. Check if you're leaning your weight more towards one leg. Equalize that weight. Relax any clenching. And lift up. And lower down. And lift up. And lower down. And release your arms. And then we will switch feet. Put the ball of your opposite foot up. Your opposite foot steps forward. Wrap your arms out to the side. Wrap your left arm on top. Wiggle your fingers around. Thigh bones back, hips over heels. Lift and lower without the ribs going up. And lift nice and slowly. Lower nice and slowly. Head ramps back a little bit. Lift nice and slowly. Lower nice and slowly. Pause. Are you clenching your hip or buttocks muscles? Can you relax them? Lift nice and slowly. And lower nice and slowly. And then open your arms out. Lower your hands down. You can step off of there and move that to the side. From the top of the mat, we're going to go in between a chair squat and a balance, just to mentally prepare you. Sit your hips back into a chair squat. Relax any clenching. And press up. Push down through your outer right hip, kind of hug it towards the midline, and lift that left leg out to the side. Lower down, sit back into your chair squat, checking your feet, your ankles, your knees. Relaxing, clenching. Press up, push down through your outer left hip, hug it in, and lift the right leg out to the right. Put that foot down, sit back. And I do find that there's certain areas that I clench, and it's those same areas that I feel like are not doing, they're preventing some areas from doing their job. So watch that clenching, keep coming back to it, and come up and push down through your right hip, hug it in, and left leg goes out. And lower down, sit your hips back. Breathing, keep sliding back. Keep dropping the hips lower than the shoulders. Check is the weight in the heels, but you're using the front of your feet. And then press up and push down through your left hip, hug it in. Reach that right leg out. Lower down. Sit back into your chair pose, fold over your legs, keep your right foot forward, step your left leg back, lower your knee down. All right, from here, your right leg is forward, your left leg is back, heel toe, heel toe, heel toe, your right leg out to the side. You can bend your knee right over your ankle. From here, low warrior two pose. Rotate your palms up, take a breath here. Relax, clenching. And let's reverse warrior. You can bring your hand down to your leg or towards your thigh, or the floor, excuse me. Up and over. Relax, clenching. And then come back and elbow to your knee. Reach your top arm up and over. And then let's just sweep through that. Warrior two. Reverse. And side angle on the knees. And then come back up, heel toe, that right foot back to facing forward. And then from there, you're gonna actually we didn't have to bring it back, but we're gonna stretch that right leg straight out to the side. And this time, instead of staying upright, we're gonna bring our left hand down to the floor. Elbow pit wraps towards your fingers. You can either be here or here on the inner edge of your foot, but let's take the top arm up and over into a side bend, watching that bottom elbow pit, and bring it back up into the air. Going over and up and over and up and over. Now check your back foot. Is it right behind your knee? How about spinning your back foot in so it's coming closer to in line with your back foot? Just see how that feels, breathing, not forcing anything. And then slide that foot back and pull yourself up. And now heel toe that right foot back up to the top of the mat. With your right foot forward, Hands come down, lift your back knee up, spin your foot flat for warrior two pose. Come on up. So your right foot is turned out, you're bending into the knee. Flip your palms up. Breathing here. Is the weight in the heels? Are you gently but actively using the front of your feet? What's going on with your front knee? What's going on with your back leg? What's going on with the tilt of your pelvis? And then from here, slowly straighten your front leg all the way, tip into a triangle pose. How about checking the rotation of that thigh bone? And then if you feel like the legs are good stabilizing you, how about bringing your pinky fingers together in front and opening up? And then rebend your right knee and reverse warrior. Breathing here. You can check on all that lower body stuff, check on the ribs, relaxing down and back. And then pull your torso up very slowly, straighten your right leg again, tip back over into your triangle pose. And then how about here, rotating your arm bones all the way one way, and nice and slowly all the way the other way. And press back up, bend into your right knee, hand or elbow to the knee. Top arm just goes up into the air, or you can reach it overhead and create that long line. Is your weight shifting forward to the front of the feet, ground through the heels? Is the head jotting forward or the chin jotting forward? Ramp the head. Pull yourself back up, straighten your legs slowly. Neutral thigh bone, tip over into triangle pose. And how about bringing your arms up overhead and opening that back up, and then pulling your torso up, parallel your feet. Pick up a block. If you don't have a block, you can improvise on the widest width, put it between your forearms, gently squeeze that block and do micro lifts up and down. So if you're improvising, you're just holding your elbows about shoulder height and keeping them bent and seeing how high you can lift and lower without lifting your ribs up. Okay, let's switch to the medium width. So medium width, at any time it gets too narrow, then just stay with the wider width and lift and lower. Good, check, are your ankles rolling to one side? Are you clenching anywhere in your legs? As parts wake up in your body, sometimes you'll find that those are the parts that clench. Turn it on the most narrow width. So it's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's just, it doesn't mean that, it means that the same part of your body is not always going to be the part clenching. All right, from there, fold over your legs. Walk back around to your right foot at the front of the mat. Spread your thumbs out, wrap your elbow pits, step back to a plank pose, go up and back to a down dog. Outer edges of feet straight. If you find your lower back is rounding, put a big bend in your knees, get your tailbone high, and then stretch your legs back any amount from there. Unless your spine tucks under, maybe keep a bend in your knees. Breathing here. Relax any clenching. You can always lower your knees into a child's pose. How about spreading your thumbs out, wrapping your elbow pits forward, and ramping your head a little bit. You can watch the thrust of your ribs as well. Do your legs feel like they're doing as much work as your arms? Think about it. You're in a V shape. The legs should feel like they're doing as much work as the arms. And then lower your knees down to the floor. Come onto your belly in a sphinx pose. Pubic bone relax down. Curl your ribs up. Feel your armpits lift up. Lower down. Curl your ribs up. And relax down. Let's do that 2 more times. Curl up. And relax down. And curl up. And so now you're going to hold that curling, put your elbows right under your shoulders, and you're going to lift your hips up so that you're in a modified forearm plank. and lower your hips down, but you're not letting your ribs drop down. You're keeping the lift of your ribs and your armpits the whole time. Hips lift up and relax down. Excuse me. Hips lift up and relax down. And hips lift up. Okay, from here, tuck your toes under if you want to. Knees lift up. Tap down, not lifting your hips any higher. Knees lift up. Tap down. Knees lift up. Tap down, either hold knees or hold knees lifted. Armpits lift, ribs lift, head ramps, breathing. Lower the knees down, back your hips up nice and slowly. Reach your right arm behind your left elbow, twist of the belly, twist of the rib cage. And switch, bring that elbow under your shoulder, reach through. Make sure your head and neck are relaxed. Unwind, push down to come up to your knees. Step your right foot forward, tuck your back toes under, and push down to step up. Okay, top of the mat. Feet straight, ankles hip distance apart. We sit back, push up, right leg pushes down, reach the left leg out to the side, activate the left leg all the way. Sit back into your chair pose. Press down, push down through your outer right hip, lift your left leg out, activate that leg, inner thigh, outer thigh, lower down. Sit back, press up, push down through your right hip, hug it to the midline, extend your left leg, reach long, lower down, sit back, press up, push down through the right hip, hug it in, lift the left leg out, extend long, lower down. Sit back, fold over your legs, left foot forward, right leg steps back, lower the knee down, stand up your torso in your low lunge, heel toe, heel toe, heel toe, your left foot out, ankle under the knee, foot pretty straight from there, arms out, warrior two on the knees, breathing. You can bend your knee a little bit if that feels good. Reverse, so reaching your left hand up, hand to your thigh, or coming down towards the floor, go slow. And then pull your torso up, elbow to the knee, reach the top arm up and over. All right, back to warrior two, reverse, and side angle. Good, come back up. Now you can just extend that left leg out. You can be on the inner edge or on your heel if you'd like to, either one. And then from here, we're gonna bring our hand down, thumb spreads out, elbow pits wrap forward. You're welcome to put a block under your hand. So as your elbow pit wraps forward, you're also turning your belly button to the ceiling, which will tend to turn your elbow pit back to face towards your thumb instead of towards your fingers. So you have to work on the rotation here as well as the rotation here, and reach your arm over and back up and reach over and up. Watch the locking out of the elbow. So none of that. Reach over and up, or hyperextending, I should say. Reach over and back up and pull yourself up. Walk that left foot back to the front of the mat. From the front of the mat, lift your back knee up, spin your foot flat, come on up, warrior two. Check the edges of your feet, the position of your ankles, the position of your knees. Breathing here. Slowly straighten your leg, rotate your thigh bone into neutral as you tip over into a triangle pose. Maybe bring your fingers together and open. Bend your front knee, reverse warrior. Good, check where the weight is in your feet. Ground through the front of the foot, but most of the weight falls into the heels. Come back up, slowly straighten your front leg without snapping it straight. Check on the neutral rotation of both of your thigh bones as you tip over. Rotate your arm bones all the way one way, all the way the other way. Push down to come up as you bend your left knee, hand or elbow to the knee. Top arm can either just reach up, which feels wonderful, or reach over. Breathing here. Check on the tilt of the pelvis, the tilt of the rib cage, the ramp of the head. Pull yourself up, one more triangle, straighten your leg, tip over. Feel the belly button twist towards the ceiling as maybe you bring your arms overhead. And then reopen and pull yourself up, parallel your feet. And then from here with your feet parallel, let's just go ahead and you can do a half forward fold, or you can keep on folding as far as you'd like to. You're welcome to put a block underneath your hands or rest your hands on your thighs or your lower legs. Relax any clenching. Feel like you have equal weight between both of your legs. You can shift your hips a little bit side to side. Smooth inhales and exhales. And then go all the way down. Walk back around to your left foot. Lower your right knee down, slide your knee back, thumbs spread out, elbow pits wrap forward, top of the rhomboid push-up, plank pose, head ramps, downward dog or a child's pose. Thumbs spread out, palms press evenly, bend those elbows a little bit to wrap your elbow pits forward. Check on the ramp of the head, the ribs. If you feel that your spine is rounding instead of having some natural curve to your lower back, then put a bend in your knees sometimes. And it also depends on what you're working on when it comes to your body. But usually starting with length and the natural curves of the spine, tilt of the pelvis, tilt of the rib cage is really helpful. Breathing here. How about rotating your thigh bones into neutral if your feet are straight and your legs are straight, and lifting your kneecaps up and down from a down dog. All right, from here, lower the knees down, lower your forearms down. Think top of the rhomboid push-up, step back to your forearm plank. Lift your hips up and back. If you want to, you can scoot your feet in a little bit. Dolphin pose. Did your elbows pop out to the side? Can you bring them back to shoulder distance? Did your hands come in closer? How does it feel to keep them as wide as your elbows? Ground through your feet. Breathing here. Use your legs. Active front of the feet. Child's pose whenever you're ready, or a couple more breaths. And lower your knees down, flip your palms up. And how about a little rock forward and back? Nothing should hurt you after class or in the next 24 to 48 hours. Nothing should be bothersome. If something is, it means too much too soon. Your body likes slow adaptation. So ease your way into things. You're not missing out on anything by really pushing, by not pushing your body, by not over pushing your body. You're not missing out on anything. Consistency is way more important than intensity for the most part. All right, stand up on your knees. Step your right leg out to the right. This time, work on the inner edge of your foot if possible. Hand down to the block or the floor. Wrap that elbow pit forward. You can keep your left foot behind you, or you can tuck it in a little bit to try a little different balance. And then it's going to help if your wrist, your knee, and your foot are in line. You can keep your top hand on your hip. You can reach it up into the air. From here, let's go ahead and lift the leg, and tap down. Lift, reach long through that top leg. Tap. Lift, reach long. Tap. Lift, reach long. How about checking that bottom elbow pit? You can keep your leg down or up. Curl under. Open up. Curl under. Open up. 2 more like that. Curl under. Open up. Curl under. Open up. Put that foot down. Slide that leg in. Extend your left leg out to the left. Inner arch of your foot. Come on down. Thumb spreads open. Elbow pit wraps forward. A lot harder for me on this side, so I have to be more aware. From here, hand can be on your hip, hand can be in the air. Let's lift and tap. When you lift, you reach long. That skill is going to come in handy from the inner thigh, the outer thigh, the back of the thigh. Lift and tap. Lift and either put your leg down here or keep it up. Curl and uncurl. Curl, feel the waist twist, and then feel the waist twist up. Curl and uncurl and curl. Reach long through that leg and uncurl and pull yourself up. Slide your leg in, step your left foot forward, tuck your back toes under, and push down to step up. Okay, so first things first, turn your right toes out, and then your hips are still pretty much facing forward. They might twist a little bit to the right, but you're just going to see, what does it feel like to push down and balance with my foot turned out to the side? And because now you've changed the rotation of your thigh bone, your buttocks, instead of hugging in, like if we're balancing on this leg, from here we're hugging in. But now since the rotation has changed, you're almost pushing your buttocks forward a little bit. So you're pushing in this way instead of this way, since your foot's turned out to the side. So push your buttocks forward a little bit as you balance. Push your buttocks forward a little bit as you balance. And then from there, let's check the foot is straight. Push the buttocks forward. You can reach your hand down anywhere on the chair. Lift that back leg and stretch it long and powerful. Try to keep rotating your bottom thigh bone into neutral as your belly button turns up. And then you can reach your top arm into the air. Breathing here. How about lightening your fingertips just to see how that goes, or even taking your hand off the chair and come back up. Okay, let's switch sides. So first things first, and this is kind of tricky, and so it's much harder to do when you're upright than leaning forward in some ways, but you're turning your foot out, and instead of, so when we're balancing here, if our hip goes out, we hug it in. But with our foot turned out, and our hip goes out this way, we hug it forward. So you're still hugging your hip in. From there, push down through that foot and just try to hug your hip forward to balance. Come down. Press down, hug your buttocks forward a little bit to balance. Okay, push down, hug your hip forward a little, bring your hand down lower or higher, lift the back leg, reach long through that leg, flex your ankle, push your hip forward, maybe try to rotate that thigh bone into neutral a little bit, maybe reach your top arm up into the air, maybe loosen the grip of your fingers, maybe let go. I don't know if my body's gonna let me do it on this side. This is my leg that is has a harder time rotating into neutral, but we can try it. Woo, and come on back up. All right, from there, face your chair. You can turn it around so the back of the chair faces you for a little bit more space. Sit your hips back and cross your right ankle over your left knee. Watch the knee going forward, hips going out to the side. And switch. Okay, double calf stretch. Rolled up towel works great. 2 blocks side by side. Put the ball of your feet up, your heels down, your hands to either the back of a chair or the seat of the chair. Thigh bones rotating into neutral. So you can stay here. If you can see, you can look. But I just want to show you something. This is that side where it's harder for me to maintain my alignment. Okay. So what I wanted to show you there, and I knew that it was going to be a gamble, but I can hold the pose in the air if I don't maintain my alignment. So my thigh bone is internally rotating. My alignment is not in the optimal position because I'm stronger, not in the optimal position, in the habitual pattern I use all the time when I'm sitting and standing and walking. But that's not the goal. The goal is to not just do a pose. The goal is to do something in a way that also benefits your joints. Not that it's not fun to just do a pose if you can do it any way. That's how yoga began for me, and I love that. But if you're looking for longevity, really feeling good in your joints, preventing injury as much as possible, which is never 100%, then you want to start working on the alignments, even if it means you don't feel as strong in those alignments. So it does take a little bit of humbling, but in a beautiful way that you'll just start to feel so good in your body. Okay, come on up from there, from here. Feet straight, ankles hip distance apart. Rotate from your pelvis. Slide down your legs, letting your spine round. It's okay to put a bend in your knees. Flatten your palms. Step back to a plank pose. Go up and back to a down dog. Breathing here, working on the spinal alignment. Smooth inhales and exhales. Lower your knees down. Take a child's pose of your choice. Arms up, palms up, hands under your head. And then from there, spin around. Come onto your buttocks. Flex your ankles. Try to move mostly from your pelvis. Maybe go forward with a flatter back. Maybe just try to sit upright with a flatter back. Yes, you can absolutely do this, but my body knows that I spend still an excessive amount of time like this when I'm sitting, so I want to work a little bit more on not going so far forward and getting more motion from my pelvis and working with a longer spine. I'm trying to straighten my legs. It's interesting, the more rotation of my pelvis, the more my knees want to pop up. And roll down for your final pose, Savasana. Let your gaze soften or your eyes gently close. Become very present with your body and with your breath. so I've been just kind of pulling books off of one of my bookshelves. And this book that I pulled today is a book, from well over probably 2 decades, well over 2 decades ago. And it's just a book that I used to write quotes in. I've always loved quotes. And so I just flipped to the second page, and I'm just going to read you the quotes that I wrote down a couple decades ago, maybe more. Nothing great was ever achieved without enthusiasm. Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. He that does good to another does good also to himself. To be at peace at any endeavor, we must release our need to control the outcome. We can only do our best. No one can make you feel inferior without your consent. The future depends on what we do in the present. If you're ready to wiggle or rock or move, feel free to do that. But I do always feel like we could all use an extra minute or two of Savasana. So if you have the luxury to stay longer, do that. When you're ready, roll over to one side. Press yourself up. Sit anyway, bringing our hands together at heart center in gratitude for this day. Namaste.